Be honest, when I found out about you, it was during the whole Global Titans when you versus Tommy Fury, and that's a lot of like there's a lot of drama there. You want to like speak a little bit about how Global Titans has been doing you dirty?
Um, I can't speak too much because we're currently negotiating. That's it's been going on the past few days. That's why I've been a bit more quiet about it. I
Mhm.
would say, so I don't want to use the word doing me dirty, although I appreciate the sentiment. Um, I would say more so just the professionalism that should have been there given a business that has the type of backing that they do. I feel like things should have been handled a lot more differently and should have been a lot more structured so that way there wasn't really issues. I think a lot of the issues were that they had multiple people doing one or two things, so not everyone was on the same page. And then there was the issue with different contracts that we had talked about the day of the weigh-in and stuff like that. So that's kind of upsetting. Um, but right now, I'm trying to settle something with them so that way I can at least not lose out on everything I've lost out on. And where that goes from there, I'll be able to speak more on it in the next coming days.
Okay. But yeah, but from my understanding, the weigh-in day, you made your weight, correct? And then from what it seemed like, Tommy Fury came in overweight, but then we found out that you guys were given two different contracts.
Yeah, but even then, he was still overweight because if his contract, and I only found out because he's like, no, no, contract's 81 kilograms. And I'm like, no, it's not because it was this. And I would have agreed to 81 kilograms anyway because 2, 3 pounds is nothing. 6 pounds is a lot, though. People cancel fights in the US over like more than a pound, or you lose
Yeah.
options to be able to do stuff and you pay up. But because he is who he is, more so because he has the brother that he has. Uh, there's favoritism there, and I get that it's boxing. I'm new to the scene. People only know me because of this whole incident. So I guess it's a blessing in disguise. At the end of the day, I try to look for like the silver lining to everything. But yeah, he didn't even make his own weight. He weighed in 82.3 kilograms. His weight, from what he said, was 81 kilograms. So he was 2.5 pounds over that. That's a lot of weight too. So he could have tried to make weight. We what we did was we asked for more money, given a percentage of his contract, and we asked that he didn't rehydrate to over like 190, 195 pounds tops, because then we could still make things work. He wouldn't have too big of a handicap. Um, the, the commissioner immediately handed him water. He started drinking it. They didn't try to
Bro.
make weight. They rehydrated right away. By the time we went to the weigh-in, like 4 or 5 hours later, he was, I think, almost 195 pounds or something. He was like 87, 88, 88 and a half kilograms or something. He had like his shorts and his shoes on. So if you take off 5 pounds, he was pretty big. He wasn't that big when we faced off. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, so it was noticeable, but
The
it's a
dude is
sad situation.
embarrassing, bro. Like how many times is he gonna show like unprofessionalism? Like there should be a limit, right?
Yeah, well, I think that is more for him to speak on because at the end of the day, people will stick up for you all day if you got a good fan base. I know he has a very popular fiance and stuff like that. So then he was on Love Island, reality TV. So you got good fans, but at the end of the day, people can always only make so many excuses for you. You either want to partake in something, and if it has rules and regulations, you need to abide by them. You're not special. Um, So I think he's just digging himself a deeper hole, or maybe he doesn't really want to fight. I feel like if he wanted to fight and he kept saying he was levels above me, why do you need so many handicaps? Like it doesn't make sense, you know? Um,
Yeah, yeah, no. Oh,
why
we
wait till
saw
the last minute?
exactly. No, we also saw someone else that doesn't like Tommy Fury, Jake Paul, coming to your aid, right? Have you spoken to Jake like behind the scenes or anything?
We were able to. I've been in contact with Jake's team. He was able to be supportive and give me some I would say help me keep calm during the situation and handle myself with poise, because we all know that just being too loud is sometimes good, but usually not in this type of scenario. So cooler heads always prevail. And he had retweeted something I said and made a comment about it, and just he seems to have a good head. I don't know Jake personally, so it was solid. It was a solid comment. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders. He said he doesn't do business with people that don't treat fighters well. So if he really means that, which I believe he does, that's pretty huge because fighters don't really get treated well as it goes. This situation's a little crazy, mine, but it's not too far fetched from other things that go on in the sport of boxing. So it's cool to see that somebody that is um, becoming more. He's a professional boxer, so it's cool to see that somebody that's coming into the sport at a late time and just really immersing themselves in it cares that much about other fighters. Whether or not it's to help his own narrative or not, it doesn't matter because he didn't need to speak out on it, but he did. So for that, I'm grateful.
So, so do you think the Jake Paul and Tommy Fury fight will end up happening in February? That's a rumored time. And if so, how do you think it goes?
Um, I, I doubt it's happening, and I think I think Jake's bigger, and Jake like wants it more. I mean, Tommy like he got boxing pedigree, I guess, from his family and all that. But at the end of the day, someone who wants something more is probably going to do more and take more advantage of it. If you don't want to be there, it will show. It's boxing. All it takes is getting hit with one punch, and it could change your, as Mayweather put it, like your entire temperature while you're fighting. You might be a big bad guy until you get clocked real good, and then you don't know what you're doing because somebody actually wants to take you out. I believe Jake, like I said, he's fully immersed himself in the sport. He has money. He could be doing a bunch of crap, but instead he's just killing himself in the gym and he's getting really elite level sparring and having the best trainers work with him. So I feel like he would pull it off. Uh, I don't know if he would knock Tommy out or anything like that. I think boxing wise, he can go 8 rounds. He's done 8 rounds more than Tommy. I'd say he beats him. If he doesn't
Yeah.
knock him out, he definitely outboxes him.
Okay, that's interesting. One thing I wanted to ask you as well is, you know, the rumored fight before you and Tommy was Tommy versus Tyron Woodley, right? That's what everyone thought was gonna happen on Global Titans. And then when you got announced, everyone's like, "Oh, Tommy's fighting another bomb." This because they didn't know you, right? Like, how'd
Yeah.
you feel about those comments?
I don't really care. So I started boxing at 26, bro. Uh, I don't have an athletic background. I boxed because I had to. It was a way to like feed myself. So for me, boxing at 26 and being a pro for less than 2 years and being able to maneuver the way that I have and being able to afford these opportunities, that just lets me know I'm doing everything right. So a couple losses doesn't really mean anything to me. Um, I ran Barkley, one of my favorite boxers, former world champion, multiple world champion. Started off with like 5, 6 losses until he started just taking people down. It's you can't count anyone out with a loss. So for people to call me a bum because they want to hype Tommy up or anything, or they're upset that Woodley, I would knock Woodley out by the way. So I don't really know how he's better than me. Um, and there's a talk that I might be fighting Woodley in March. I've heard, so that's very
Okay,
interesting too.
that's
Yeah,
very interesting. Yeah.
it's extremely interesting. It lets me know that other people just hype themselves up with matchups that aren't really there. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so being called a bum, like it doesn't really matter. Most people that will call me a bum have never fought. Anybody that does fight won't call me a bum, and if they will, it won't be to my face. So I have no problems.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's the right energy to have. But so Tom, you went from maybe fighting Woodley to fighting you to then he fought that fucking 12-1 guy, right? But was that really a fight? It looked like a
Nah,
spar to me.
it was he wasn't allowed to hurt him. It was last minute notice. It was an exhibition. We tried to get me to have an exhibition with Tommy. They told me no, it needed to go on our records. There was it was a huge mess.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
it was a BS fight. If that guy would have tried to really do anything, if you paid attention to the fight, he hit him with a clean 1-2, and then kind of dazed Tommy for a second. He backed up all the way across the ring and started doing weird showmanship type things. So at the end of the day, I just feel like everybody who was looking forward to the fight, because I would say the most competitive fight on the card that night was me and Tommy, or supposed to be rather. Um, they just robbed the people of like good stuff because Mayweather's Mayweather, so he's always going to be a draw. But like Deji wasn't winning that. Like Deji's a great guy, but
Exactly.
he was it's Mayweather. It's just yeah, nah. But
Yeah.
the fact that he had the balls to do it though, that's crazy to me. Hats off to him. But yeah, I think the most competitive fight there that night was me and Tommy. So the people just didn't get it. So I'm hoping in the future he kind of mans up. He fights me. I know he wants a big payday. So if he does the YouTube boxing thing, like that's cool. But when you want to come back to boxing and welcome yourself back to boxing, I would love to beat your ass. Um, so I'm just trying to be as hopeful as possible because usually when I'm optimistic, things turn out the right way. God listens, you know.
Yeah. And then just to wrap this story up, let's get final words to Tommy Fury.
Oh, like I said, go get your payday, and when you want to get back to boxing, fighting real boxers and actually like moving through your career at light heavyweight, you got to see me. Like, there's no way you don't see me, or you're gonna wonder what if forever. Because you know I was there to fight. I know I was there to fight. Everyone in the world knows we were there to fight. So that's just what it is to me. We got to get it on. Like at the end of the day, like spar, fight, it don't matter to me. But we need to put hands on each other.
Perfect.